Hey guys, thanks for coming back to the KG's Garage. Today we're going to be working on the family truckster, the 2014 Honda Odyssey. I'm going to show you how to do the front struts on this thing. Usually when I get front struts, I usually like to buy the whole deal, whole strut with the spring assembly. I looked online and I couldn't find a reasonable price for that kind of assembly. There was some unknown brand to me. I never even heard of it. It was like some letters. So I didn't want to chance just buying some random name that I've never even heard of. I don't know how good it is. I was on Rock Auto and they did have KYBs, but they weren't in stock. And months ago I put on, notify me, and they haven't come in. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to have to do it the harder way. I think I got everything I need. Let me just take all this stuff down. I'm going to show you. Alright, so you have two struts, a left and a right side. This one's already poking out the side. And what happened was it's supposed to be a little metal thing holding the strut down. Well, on the bottom one it's not there. So it's just a bare strut. And then I got new top mounts for the bearings and all that stuff. So this goes on top. I'm gonna have to compress the spring and reuse the spring. And then I bought these here, which is hopefully to give you, I don't know, the little foam isolator and a boot for it. So I don't like doing it this way because it takes a little bit longer. The other way, you just take out this 3 bolts on top of the strut. Take those 3 out. Take the 2 out here on the bottom of the strut. You probably disconnect, I don't know, whatever's connected to it. ABS lines, stabilizer link, who knows what else. And you just take the whole other assembly and shove it right in there. So that's the way I like to do it, and plus you get new springs then. So I'm reusing the old springs. The car has 130,000 miles on it? I don't know, something like that. And I have to find my spring compressor. I don't know where it is. I got it. I think it's in this drawer here. Well, maybe it's right here. McPherson. There it is right there. Damn. This bottom drawer is loaded with a whole bunch of stuff, and it still rolls in and out. This is my Husky toolbox. So I'm happy with this toolbox. There we go. So here's the, I gotta clean this thing off too. All right, McPherson strut. So you just snap it on either side of the spring and you hit it with the impact and you crush the spring in. I'll show you how it all works when I get to that point, but I want to make sure I had this first before I start taking the whole thing apart. All right, first thing to do is get this thing up in the air. I'm gonna take the front wheels off. I pop the hood. These Honda's hoods, you have a hole here. This is an arrow. You can put it there, which leans a little bit, or there's another spot here. You can open the hood up all the way up. It probably is not good if you're in a windy location because it might blow that way. Inside, we're fine. Okay, so the strut tower is right here. It looks like this is gonna be more of a pain in the neck than I thought. I don't know how you get to the bolts. I don't know if this is a little access panel. Is that what I do? I take this little panel off and then get in there and... Oh, that's a bummer. I thought it was gonna be easier than this. Or do I just take this whole thing off? Yeah, I just take this whole plastic piece off. Probably that will do it. And I'll be able to get to them. Okay, well, let me get to work. Okay, I got this whole cowl piece off. I had to take the wipers off. It's just this one bolt here. You take that off and just pretty much just pry those wipers right off. Now I can get to the upper strut bolts with no problem. I'm trying to see, I might get a vacuum cleaner and vacuum all this junk out in here. There's all leaves and branches and sticks and everything. So that's gonna happen. I'll do that. I'll do the struts and then I'll clean it up. That's it. So that next thing is I'm gonna lift it up and take all these bolts off, and you'll see when I do the then you'll see when I'll bring the strut out and I'll assemble it right here with all the new stuff. Okay, next thing I'll have the struts out. Okay, I'm gonna take all this stuff off down here. I had it up in the air, but it was kind of hard to take all the stuff off, have it up in the air, take all the stuff off, bring it back down. Anyway, I'm just gonna do it from down here. I gotta crawl on the ground a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, so the first thing, getting a 22 and putting on the other side of these bolts here where the nut is, and it won't come loose. So you get your big bar here, this, and all you want to do is just break them loose. Same with the bottom one. Brake line's a little bit in the way over here. Get a longer extension. There we go. Oh, now you see the other side. Stop turning out. Good. These are like press fit, so they shouldn't turn. But once you get it loose, it's off. Got those two bolts off. Now you want to get the rest of this stuff off. There's a bolt there that holds on the brake line, and then you have to take this off here, and then the other side. Oh, hey. You gotta pull this off. This just pulls right off. It's for the ABS sensor, and then you gotta take this off. Now, if you're lucky, all right. So this is a 17. You see, it has an Allen key in there. Sometimes this whole thing will spin, but if you hit it with an impact, most times it will just come out. Yep. And the bolt went right where I needed it to go. And so now we got to take this little guy out, which that is a 12. Now when you go to put this back together, you don't want to use the full force of impact. Alright, got that one out. So what do I got there? 4 bolts. And you push the sway bar out of the way. You can test it out, see, seems alright. Make sure this, oh, you gotta take this clip off. I'm taking all this stuff off first. Because once you take these 2 big bolts out, it will hang. And I need 2 hands for this. Anyway, pull this out. Daring wearing no shoes in my shop. Why are you all sweaty?
Because playing basketball.
Okay, so now you get the little, you get your little hammer and you just tap these things out. That one, make sure this is out of the way, the brake line. And then you tap. Yep, and then you tap this out. Once these get tapped out, the whole spindle's gonna fall. I have to. You want to video this for me? Come here. All right, so now you gotta lift up. You gotta take these bolts out and just lift it up on the bottom.
Are you even recording?
Yes. Is the red light on? Yeah. It's on. All right, come here. Shine here. So now everything's loose. The strut is loose. Now you go on the top. Take these 3 out. Anything will drop out. 1, 2. There goes the bolt. And these you don't need because they give you new ones. Alright, so now you just wiggle this. I like still stuck at the bottom. There we go. Just watch out for your brake line. Oh, there it is. Okay, that's the strut. Okay, now we're going to take this apart. Okay, here we go. This is the old one. I'm going to take the new one out real quick just to look at it. Here's the strut. Make sure it matches up before I start taking it apart. It looks the same. These have the same mounting points. The clip here. Part for the sway bar link. Alright, let's put that aside. So what we need to do is we need to get the spring off. And with disassemble this whole thing. Really what you do is just take this bolt off here, but you need to compress the spring, release the tension on it. Otherwise, if you take this bolt off, it'll just fly right off. You get your strut compressor, put it on here. Okay. On there. That. Tighten this down a little bit. Okay. So you get one on this side. So the way this works is you put your spring goes in here, and then you push this, and that keeps it on there. I guess I'll grab it right here. And then you just crank it down. You want to crank them down like the same on both sides. You don't want to just crank one side down. Try to kind of evenly. Try to take this nut off here. I might have, you know what, I'm not even going to try. It never works. What happens is you start spinning this, everything spins, even the whole cylinder. So there's a Allen key in the head there. Oh, other way. I'm just gonna yeah. Let's hit it with the impact and see what happens. See if it breaks loose. Yep, the whole thing's spinning. Let's see if I got it loose enough though, that where I can loosen it with the. Yeah, all right, that worked. So the impact loosened it. Now I'm just. Okay, I bought a new one of these. This has the bearing in it. This is just like, I guess, like a plastic bushing. I need to save this piece and this other rubber piece down here. I wonder if I can just take this off how it is. Let's see. Yep, maybe. Yep, take the whole thing off. Let's see how bad it was. The car's been bouncing a lot. And it's still going up. Oh, but it wasn't too terrible. Get the new one. I'm gonna take this rubber piece, throw it away. Now, if you notice, there's some kind of grease on here, and also on there, and also on here too. What I need to do is I'm going to keep this part on. I'm just going to clean it. I'm going to see if I can leave the spring compressed so I don't have to recompress it. I don't know if you can see inside there, there's a bushing in there. I need to get that bushing out because I replace it with a new one here. And this whole this rubber protector, rip that out. So it's like a little isolator in case you in case it bottoms out, it hits this. All right, I'm gonna throw that out. So we don't need this there. Okay, I'm gonna put this rubber boot in this thing. Here like this. So that'll help with bottoming out. Got the new top part, this little plastic bearing in here, or whatever bushing. I'm going to take this, put the spring on it. Put the spring on it. There's a certain way this bottom rubber part of the spring goes, right? Here it goes. There's a notch right here. See, there's a little hole in the rubber part of the spring. Nope. Come on. There. Rubber part of the spring goes right in there like that. I didn't know about these parts. I would have bought new ones, but oh well. Alright, so that's that. This is on there. Now I'm just going to take some grease. Take some of this grease, smear it all around here. I don't have, this is like some kind of blue grease they put on here. I don't know what that is. Don't know what that blue is. But I put that there. This goes like this. So this spins. I'm going to put grease on here. Okay. Now this piece goes on top of here. And I get the nut for it. It's up here. Okay, now tighten the bolt. Alright, it's tight. Oh, the grease I'm using is just high temp red wheel bearing grease. I don't know what else is supposed to be used. Some blue stuff. I don't have whatever that blue stuff is. Now that I have this bolt on here, actually, you know what? I'm going to tighten it a little bit. Tightening this. I'm going to let the tension out of the springs now that I got some thread showing there. Let's take these off. Go. I'm just going to tighten this up more. Let's tighten it. And this goes this way. Allen key in there. What I do is just let it hit the ground. It goes here. Now I'm fighting the tension of the spring. But I want to get, yeah, that's probably about good. All right, it's together. Now we're gonna go put it on. Do the opposite of what we did. Grab your strut, you got it there. Take these bolts for the top and put them somewhere close up here. Because what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the strut, put it up there, and then while it's up there, you're gonna get those nuts started. On top of this, it has markings. So we'll look at it this way. That says left, right, and front. So I don't care what position that is down there. You can turn this once it's up there, but it has to go like this. And if you look, it doesn't exactly line up. I mean, which one's front? Which one out of these two? This one, that one. Which one's front? I don't know. I'm gonna make that one the front. So I don't know if it's bent a certain way or something. I don't think it is. I'm not 100% sure it really actually matters. I think the only thing that matters is where the spring is sitting, and that's how you want the spring to sit. So I'm gonna that positions the spring there, putting that in there. So I'm gonna put this up in there. You see me struggle right there getting this in there. Ready? Here we go. Okay, here we go. Where are they? I'll get it. We'll get it. There. And then, while you're holding with one end, some of these guys on. Whew, okay. I was catching some of the ABS wire down there. It's had a little bit of an issue. Okay. I'll wait to tighten that till this stuff down here is done. Now the next thing you want to do, see how this is turned the wrong way? This goes behind it. ABS sensor. You just turn it. I'll show you. Just pretty much take this and just turn it. And then you got the spindle. I'm gonna get a jack right here, okay, and just crank it up. I mean, you could lift this, manhandle it, but why? And you want to get these bolts in first, these big ones. They went in this way. Like so, that one in. Just wiggle it and get those in there. Get the bolts on. I'm just gonna get everything started. See where the sway bar is way off. I need to lift up. Now I have still the jack on here. Lift it up. Right there. That should be good. And you just pop it in. Put your screw in there, your nut, I mean. Okay. This thing here comes around and just gets pushed back in. That's for the ABS. There we go. Now I'm just going to take the impact and tighten everything up. Hand tighten these, torque these down. Tighten that up. Tighten these up. And that's done. And then I have to put this cowl plate back on. And that's it on how to do the struts. The only other thing I'm doing on this car today is I'm going to rotate the tires. These are the fronts. Some wear mark somewhere on here. Where the heck is it? There. Wear marks right there. Down a little bit, but the rear tires are in better shape. So I'm going to switch these with the rear. It looks like they're kind of getting worn out on the inside here. Rotate the tires. I need to check out the rear brakes. They're squeaking, and I'm going to do an oil change. And I'm going to check out all the rest of the brakes. I think I checked this side out. I think the front brakes are okay. But let me, and I'm noticing this now. I think that's going to be another video. Replacing that lower control arm because that one looks bad. I'm going to look on the other side, but that one's bad. Probably the other side's bad too. It's the same design like all these modern cars. It's got that single arm lower control arm, and that bushing back there always gets ripped and worn out, and you hear a bunch of clonking around. But the Z has the same thing, the HHR has the same thing, I don't know, who knows what. Cobalt, which is the same as ACHR, has the same thing. But it mounts there and then mounts there. And then it's on the lower ball joint. That'd be a different video. Different time. That's got to get changed. But let me go button all this up. And I'll get back when that's all done. Okay, car's done. Oil change done. Tire rotation done. Struts are done. I'm gonna go for a little ride. See if there's any noises or anything. That brake, I looked at the brakes and the brakes are fine. It might be the actual rear drum making a squeaky noise. Alright, let's see. Making a whole bunch of noise. Hear it? Well, I'm gonna pull it back in and see what the noise is. Okay, let's see again. See if it makes noise now. I think I fixed the problem. I'll tell you in a second if it's fixed. Oh, nope, not fixed. The hood was still open. I thought that was it. That's not it. I knew I should have left all this off. Took it for a ride, just to make sure. Now, I don't know if you can see, but there's a space in there. Now once there's weight on the car, these top, it's not tight enough. And it's banging around. This is banging right here, so I need to tighten this up. And now it's a big pain in the neck because this thing's all back together. And if you remember to take that apart to get to here, take all these things off, gotta take the wipers off. I thought I had it. Anyway, I'm just going to stick Allen key on there and put the wrench on there and tighten it. And that should get it. Okay, so this is how I had to do it. Wedge the Allen key in there. It's hitting the all kinds of plastic piece, and then tighten it. And I just tightened it till it is snug. I don't think you really want to crush down on that bearing. So it's snug. Now the tough part is trying to get this thing off. Anyway, I gotta get the tools off there. We'll take it for another ride and see what happens. Okay, well that's gonna do it for this video about changing the struts on this thing, on the Honda Odyssey. I would have preferred to just get the struts that are all together, but like I said, I couldn't get them. Also wanted to remind everybody, if you want to win one of these handy clamps, go ahead and subscribe, because when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm gonna be pulling a name out of the list, and I'm gonna be giving this away. I'll mail this out to whoever wins. Anyway, thanks a lot for joining. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you have any questions or anything, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below, and I will put links to all the stuff that I used, all the KYB struts and all that kind of stuff that I use, and whatever else, any tools or anything like that. I'll give you a link to this if you want to go buy this thing. It's like 20 bucks, but anyway. All right, well, thanks a lot. I'll catch you in the next video.